Hi, in the fall, people look forward to a new apple crop, and today I want to talk about two specific cultivars, Honeycrisp and Sweetango. Now, Honeycrisp, which is this one right here, is a very crispy apple and juicy, and it's been known for its sweet tart balance. And both of these apples actually come from the Minnesota breeding program, the University of Minnesota breeding program. And this particular one, Honeycrisp, which has been popular for a number of years now, is a cross between Keepsake and a Minnesota cultivar named MN1627, which the parents of that particular cultivar, which was never really named, was the Duchess of Oldenburg, which is a what we call a heritage apple, and also Golden Delicious. Now, at Meyer, here in Michigan, this one was selling for about $2.50 a pound. Excuse me, $2.40 a pound. And that was true also of the Sweetango, which we'll talk about in a minute. Now, this one, Honeycrisp, was developed way back in the 1960s and wasn't introduced into the market until about the 1990s, which gives you an idea how long it takes to get a cultivar from the breeding program into the trade. As cultivars become popular commercially, everybody wants to grow them. And this particular one, you could grow in your backyard. It's not the easiest cultivar to grow, but you can buy trees and grow them yourself. But the more you plant, the lower the price will eventually drop. And this one, although it has been a good money maker for a lot of farmers, it's starting to decline in price. Now, I was surprised to see that Sweetango and Honeycrisp were at the same price, because this is a newer variety, and we'll get to this one in just 1 second. This is Sweetango, and this one didn't come on the market until 2009. And it's also known for its juiciness and sweetness, and you can see there's a little bit of a difference in size. The Sweetangos tend to be a little bit larger, and Sweetango is a little different than Honeycrisp because it's known as what's called a club variety. And this is really what I want to talk about today. A club variety means if you're not in the club, you don't get to grow it. So you aren't going to see this anytime soon in a catalog for homeowners. Now, only certain growers are allowed to grow this. And when the cultivar was developed by the University of Minnesota, the university sold exclusive rights to a grower in Lake City, Minnesota. And they decided to form a co-op, and they had investors come in, and they paid big bucks to become investors. And they called it the next big thing. And the University of Minnesota trademarked the name Sweetango. Now, the actual name of the cultivar is something like Mini Sika, something like that. It's on the screen. And in 2008, the variety was patented by the university, which is not unusual for things like this. And in the same year, the U.S. patent for Honeycrisp expired. Now, what does that actually mean for us? Now, let's say, for instance, I developed this variety of Honeycrisp, and I patented that variety. Well, what it means is every time a tree is sold, I get a royalty. And it's not legal for you to propagate that tree without paying these royalties. So now a U.S. patent is granted for about 20 years on a fruit or various other things. Then after that, it's gone. Now, in 2009, they introduced this apple. A limited number of them were sold, and it really hit the stores in a big way in 2013, and it was available across the United States and Canada. Now, as I mentioned earlier, you had to be in the co-op in order to grow and market this fruit. And this made a lot of growers angry because the cultivar was developed at a land-grant university, which is of course taxpayer supported, and they received public monies to do research. So you can guess what happened. There was a lawsuit, and they felt that all growers should have access to it, whereas the university was working out this deal with a few growers. So what happened? The court found that the agreement was legal and that the there's a law called the Minnesota Antitrust Law and Monopoly Laws, and they don't apply to land-grant universities, so they were able to get away with it. Now, there's some other legal issues involved that were settled between the people that were fighting, which included some of the smaller growers could grow a limited number of these trees, and they could sell them only direct market, like farmers markets and things like that, and they're going to increase that limitation a little bit in 2017. So why do they have club varieties anyway? Well, the reason is to keep the prices up. There are more than 3,500 apple cultivars in existence. Now, at any one time at a grocery store, you might only see maybe 15 or so, but the bottom line is they want to get top dollar, which means you get higher profits. And I guess I can't blame them for that, because they're in business to make money anyway. So, of course, you won't be able to grow this yourself. So the only way you'll be able to get it is at the grocery store. So what I want to do right now is compare the two and see who tastes better. So let's try Honeycrisp first. And these have been in my refrigerator for at least 2 weeks. And let's see what we have here. It's crispy, it's juicy, it's not as sweet as a tree ripened apple that we have in our backyard, but it's not bad. That's Honeycrisp. Let's try Sweetango. Actually, they taste very similar. I don't think one is more juicy than the other. Now, like I said, both of these apples have been in my refrigerator for about 2 weeks. So in terms of storage, the Sweetango is starting to dry out a little bit. It's starting to show some problems, if you will. And I'll show you some close-ups of that. The flesh is very similar in terms of its color. I don't know which one will oxidize faster. I'll give it a few minutes and we'll see. And what I mean by oxidation is when you cut an apple, certain varieties will start to turn brown. And varieties like Cortland, you can cut them and they stay the same flesh color. They don't oxidize. So I'm going to give this maybe a half hour, and then I'll show you toward the end of the video what kind of oxidation we have on these two. I don't think one is better than the other. When they say the next greatest thing, I think they're both about the same, at least the ones that I've got from Myers. If I bought this from a farmer's market, both of them would be better because they usually will allow their apples to ripen a little bit more on the tree when you get them at a farmer's market. But when I get them in the store, both of these were pretty much the same. So the price was the same, but there are other apple options. This is a Gala, it's a smaller apple. This one is a Fuji, and I forgot what this one was. Oh, this is a John Gold right here, if I remember correctly. It doesn't have the label on it anymore. This is a Red Delicious, which a lot of people do not like Red Delicious because they're picked too soon. I'm just going to see what this one tastes like. Oh, mealy. It is sweeter than the Honeycrisp, but the flesh is breaking down, and it looks great on the outside, but it's mealy already. So this is the kind of apple I just throw in the garbage. I actually put it in the compost pile. I'm not going to throw it in the garbage and waste it. Well, since we're chopping apples, let's see how this Fuji tastes. Certainly the Golden Delicious, this one was actually sweeter than the other two that I talked about, but the quality of the apple wasn't good. Fuji is still firm. Not mealy at all. Not very juicy though. This Fuji is about as sweet as the other two. Nice, firm, crispy apple, but not juicy at all. Really good apple. Let's try the Gala. About like the Fuji. Not real sweet. About the same. Skin's a little tougher. Not very juicy, but I still like it. I think there are apples on the market now that are just as sweet as these two if you're getting them out of the store. Like I said, when you get something from a farmer's market, it's a different story. I have had sweeter Honeycrisp and Sweetango last year. They're both good apples. Yeah, but I'm not so sure I'm going to call it the next big thing. That's just my own opinion, of course. So this is Gary. Just wanted to give you a little heads up. And I do encourage you to try the cultivars because whenever I teach classes on fruit, I tell people that how good something tastes is very individualized. So I might try a variety and say, yummy, yummy, yummy. And somebody else would just go, that's a dog. So you really have to try these for yourself. But I just wanted you to know a little bit of the history behind Honeycrisp and Sweetango. So I'll talk to you later. Bye.